Hey guys, it's Red here, and today we're talking about American Tier 7 light tank T71. Previously it was pretty unpopular because it was an unpopular line where T21, T71, T69 tanks which are not generally loved so much by players, especially because there was another line with T37, Bulldog, T49, and both lines were merging at T54E1 with T57 Heavy as a top tank of both lines. Now both T21 at tier 6 and T37, yeah, tier 6 as well, they both merge at T71, from which you can go further with lights to Bulldog and end it with Sheridan, or you can go to T69 to T57 Heavy. So now if you want to grind American lights, you'll have to go through T71 anyway. So let's talk about the tank itself. Previously it was a very good opponent for the Bulldog, but its line was ruining its popularity. Comparing to Bulldog, it was slightly slower, much smaller in size, and with shorter but more flexible and a little less stabilized magazine. The weird thing is that after rebalance, the tank wasn't really changed. It stayed on tier 7, so now it has a chance to see even tier 5 tanks, but you better don't count on it. And it sees tier 6 and 7 tanks a lot, but it's pretty much the same tank as it was, so let's have a look at the details. Now we have 390 meters base view range compensated by around 30% camo, which is bad, but you know what? With that view range I don't even care. With this view range there is no need to get closer to the enemies most of the time, and poor LTG with its 360 is just crying. Tier 6 and 7 tanks are completely helpless against your view range. You can shoot at them from distance and they will never see you even if they play with optics, maybe even if they play with binoculars, because their view range won't still reach any big numbers. So 390 is just the view range which is enough to spot anyone when you need it. Tier 10 lights feel pretty okay with that view range, so you won't suffer in any way from little lack of camo. You usually spot enemies well in advance to react to that. As for its mobility, this little triangle goes up to 64 km/h and gets that speed pretty fast. I can't call it super quick, but it's just enough, you never feel slow. It's just enough for T71 to do its job and nothing extra. The gun of T71 should be familiar to you, same magazine as it was of 150 damage times 6, which is 900 in total, with 2 seconds intro clip reload, same old good magazine with the same old and very good reload of 20 seconds. For the sake of balance, its penetration was cut to 145, but taking into account what targets you shoot now, that's pretty enough most of the time. But you could have some difficulties with heavy tanks, so carrying a pair of magazines of heat rounds would be extra. Although I don't remember if I ever had to use them. Maybe once in the evening. Generally standard rounds work well. The role of T71 on a battlefield is very universal. It's a fascinating scout. Far distance spotting and distance control. Absolutely, thanks to the view range and mobility, which helps to react to possible threats. Lack of camo will be a little unpleasant, but generally you outspot enemy well in advance to react to that. Aggressive scouting? Yes, it's small and it's quick. Passive scouting? Sure. Its great view range will help you spot enemies even at the very edge of the spotting distance. Dealing damage? Yes. Great gun with slightly lacking penetration, which is still enough in most cases. Very comfortable, very flexible. Personally, I don't see any drawbacks, at least anti-series. I wasn't a fan of this tank before, I have to admit. It was just, you know, okay to me. But now it's so strong that it's hard not to like it. And finally, it will get enough attention, as there is no way around it if you want Sheridan or T57 Heavy. There is one good and simple word that describes playing this tank. Easy. It's easy to scout in all its forms, easy to pour in damage in the enemies, it's easy to be effective. You'll never regret about getting this tank. So try this tank, and maybe you have already this tank, so you can leave your opinion about it. I will be happy to read it, and thank you for watching. See you in the next videos, guys.